What is going on? This is going to show you how to hit 50K a month as an online coach with a high ticket offer. We're going to break it down into the three aspects of any business: marketing, sales, and service delivery. So if you know where you're struggling, skip to that specific section. If you have no clue, watch it all the way through. We're going to start out with marketing first and foremost. First of all, shout out that sunset. Let's get into it. So as an online coach or consultant, you are going to be marketing mainly on social media through organic or paid content. So we're going to start with organic, and your goal with organic is going to be to take your audience from completely unaware, one single brain cell, knows nothing, all the way to knowing everything about your product and why it is the best and why they need it. So they're going to start out and just as a random person coming across your content, and your content is going to hit something in their mind to target a pain. So your content at first is going to bring them from unaware to problem aware. They know they have some sort of pain they need to solve because of your content. Then it's going to take them from problem aware to solution aware. So they know they have a problem. They know they need to solve it. They now know how to solve it, but they don't know which specific route to take within that solution or method. Then once they know they have a problem, once they know there's a solution out there, your product is going to be the single thing, the only thing that they need to solve that problem with that specific method for that pain that they're trying to solve. And so no one's going to buy from you unless they are product aware, unless they know they have a problem, they know the solution, they know your product is the best thing that they can buy to get that solution to solve that specific problem. And so to do this with your organic content, you're going to have top of funnel, middle funnel, and bottom of funnel content. I worked with a client not too long ago who only posted middle of funnel content. I'll get back to him first after I explain this. But your top of funnel is going to be what brings in new eyes to your offer, to your profile. It's going to be the thing that is generating new eyeballs onto you, getting people to know you and like you. This is going to be attracting as many people as possible, entertaining, very broad, surface level. The goal with your top of funnel, and it's half of your content at least, it's going to be to capture attention. It's the main thing, and get people to know you. Middle of funnel is going to be to educate your audience on your specific method that you're teaching. So if you have a Amazon FBA offer, it's going to start to bring up Amazon FBA. It's not your specific solution or your specific method with Amazon FBA. It's just bringing up Amazon FBA as a solution to someone's problem. So the purpose with middle of funnel, it's going to be to nurture and start selling the opportunity. Start selling your vehicle, whether that's trading, whether that's FBA, whether that's brand scaling, whatever it is. You're going to sell your vehicle. Content style should be beliefs, lessons, perspectives, just a deeper taste into your specific vehicle. The goal is to build trust and frame your vehicle, your offer, as a natural solution to their problem. So let's say someone's problem is they want to get out of their 9-to-5 and they want to make money online. They have no clue how to do that. So then the middle funnel content is going to position your vehicle, whether that's trading, whether that's FBA, whether that's paid ads, running, paid ads, whatever it is. It's going to position your middle of funnel content is going to position your vehicle as a solution to their problem. Bottom of funnel is going to be to shift them from interested. They're interested in FBA. They know they want to make money online. They're interested in FBA. It's going to shift them from interest to I want to take action on this now. So you're going to tease the process and systems that you use that have given you success. You're going to show why whatever they're doing is wrong, whether that's nothing or incorrect methods that have gotten them no results, gotten them nowhere. And the goal is really just to make your solution feel very logical and make it feel like the only option. And so back to my client that I was working with not too long ago. I can't get over the sunset. So nice. Back to my client that I was working with not too long ago. He only had middle of funnel content. It was only content about his experiences, his beliefs, lessons, advice. And so one, it was bringing no new eyeballs. It was generating no new attention onto his page, which meant the offer had no leads coming in. And two, It wasn't selling his specific method. It wasn't selling his, creating his method as anything unique, his vehicle as anything unique. It was just middle of funnel. And so there was no growth and there was no conversion. And so that's just a little rant. But from there, you're going to have top of funnel, middle of funnel, and bottom of funnel content. That's all for short form, by the way. You're going to have that on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube Shorts. I'm a big believer that you should be maximizing the amount of eyeballs that could come onto you and into your offer. And so I personally don't understand why some people don't post on all of these platforms. Yes, if you're selling a drop shipping offer to, and your target audience is 18-year-olds, yes, it might not be a good idea to post on Facebook, but any of the other three platforms, it's my belief you should be posting on. And so YouTube is king. Shout out to Preston Chambers. He gave me the crown idea for YouTube, but all of your short form should funnel into long form, because you need to nurture your audience for them to pay you thousands of dollars for a high ticket offer. If you are only posting short form, then it is going to be very hard for your audience to know you, to like you, but to trust you as well. And so, yes, your audience can get to know and like you through short form, but trust is built over a long period of time. And so the more time that your audience can have with you, that your ICP can have with you, then the more likely they are to trust you, to pay you thousands of dollars, and to look to you as an authority, the person they can go to solve their very, very specific problem with your specific solution. A few years ago, you might have been able to get away with no long form for an info offer, but in today's day and age, you need long form, and YouTube is the best way to accomplish that. Okay, so you have organic traffic down, you have top, middle, and bottom of funnel content on your short form. Next is going to be paid traffic. And like I said, if you don't have any eyeballs coming into your offer, if you don't have new leads coming into your offer, then it's going to be very hard to grow. That's true with any single business. And so if you are, you're stuck at under 20K though, and you are too stubborn to bring someone else on to run your paid traffic, and you want to do it yourself, but you have no clue how, the best thing that you can do is to do what's already working. It's not to go spend hours and hours each day learning paid traffic. To help you get to 50K a month when you're already stuck under 20K, what you should be doing is looking at your best performing reels and boosting those reels for $15, $20, $30 a day. And this is going to bring the right people into your leveraged offer ecosystem. It's going to bring the right eyeballs onto your short form so that they can then look at your long form, build trust, convert to your offer. But this only works if you have everything else set up the right way. So if you only have, short form, you don't have a sales process in place, then running paid ads probably isn't the best use of your time or money. But if you have a dialed content strategy with top, middle, and bottom of funnel content, if you have way to, nurture that audience with something like long form, and you have a full sales process, then running boosted Instagram ads from your best performing reels is going to be your best bet if you are too stubborn to bring someone on to help you with paid traffic, whatever it may be. And so, like I said earlier, in order for someone to buy from you, they need to know, they need to like, and they need to trust you. And so on short form, people get to know you, they get to like you, they see your personality through your different videos. But most of the time, just from short form, people aren't going to trust you. And so a bunch of studies show this. The 7-11-4 rule, on average, it takes a complete stranger. And if you want a complete stranger to give you thousands and thousands of dollars for a high ticket offer, they need to consume 7 hours of content, have 11 different touch points, whether that's, 4 Instagram reels, 4 long form YouTube videos, a text, and 2 emails, whatever it is, 4 touch points and 4 separate locations. So that can be Instagram story, email, call, whatever it is. And so the touch points can come into play here. Those can build to the 7-11-4 rule, but you're also going to want email to further nurture You're going to want text so that you can contact these people and call these people. And you're going to want Instagram stories so that people are, seeing you in a more raw format. They're engaging with your stories. And you're going to want DM. We'll get into that later. But 7-11 rule, you need to be implementing these things in order to hit 50K a month. If you're not doing email, start doing email. If you're not doing SMS and you're not having a dialer, reach out when you get a phone number. If you're not having a dialer, call or text at the very minimum, but it should be call. Then you're missing out. If you're not doing Instagram stories, then you're missing out on such an easy way to build trust with your audience, to get them to know you, to get them to like you, to get them to trust you. Because without, like I said, one of those three, they will never pay you for a multi-$1,000 offer. Instagram DMs. This I'll get into in the sales process, but this is another touch point that you should be utilizing, whether it's ManyChat, giving them freebies, whatever it is, we'll get into that later. And so once you have the right marketing system in place, people are going to get to know you, they're going to get to like you, and they're going to get to trust you with a whole ecosystem built out. And it's all going to lead people to your offer. And so your offer is split into two different areas. The offer statement, that's going to be the headline that they see, the offer statement. For example, we will help you, I help 40 to 50-year-old 9-to-5ers build muscle and lose weight without spending hours in the gym every day, without sticking to an insanely crappy meal plan. Hopefully I can finish this before the sun sets. We're about halfway through. All right. That's an example of an offer statement. The offer deliverables are what you're actually going to give to them. And so with the combination of these two things, what they're actually getting and how you're positioning it to grab their attention, people are going to pay you money if what you're offering brings more value than what they're paying. And so this is just the classic Hormozi equation. They're going to look to your offer and determine its value based on the dream outcome. What do they want out of it? For example, to get skinny if they're fat, the perceived likelihood of achievement. How feasible is it for them to lose 50 pounds with your specific method based on, your ability? Time delay, effort, and sacrifice. People are also going to determine value on 1, how much money it takes, how much energy it takes, and 3, how much time it takes. So that's kind of the denominator here. But people at the end of the day need to perceive your offer as more valuable than the price that they are paying for it. That is what is going to get them to pay you a lot of money. If you need help, by the way, with this, feel free to DM me on Instagram with the actual offer statement. That is going to be one of the biggest levers in your funnel. You need to nail this, and if you don't nail it, then you're just wasting leads. But your marketing, your content system, the way that you attract people to your offer, it's all going to lead to your offer and where your sales process begins. So let's get into the sales process. This is probably the biggest area that I see any, online coach that's below 20K a month. This is where they can improve the most and squeeze the most amount of juice out of the setup, out of the ecosystem that they already have running without a bunch of new leads, with the same levels that they're going at. It's just dialing in the sales process is the biggest area that I see room for improvement on people below 20K. The sales process begins when you capture a lead, whether that's a lead magnet, offering something for free, having a ManyChat automation, or having someone DM you to get that free thing, or opting in on a website, a landing page to get some sort of freebie, some sort of lead magnet. It can begin there. It can begin on your stories. Someone clicks on a story poll, your sales process should begin there. CTA, same thing. Any CTA, that call to action that incites someone to take action and they do it, your sales process should begin there. And obviously, where most people only take action, only begin their sales process, is when someone submits an application or books a call. When I first started as a setter, Benny Lockhart was the one training me. Shout out Benny Lockhart. He kind of instilled the importance of maximizing the amount of leads that you have when any of these actions take place. You don't have to wait till someone books a call in order to begin your sales process. The second that they give you any inkling that your product solves a problem that they have, you should take it upon yourself. You should feel responsibility to help them solve that problem. Because if you are confident in your product, in your offer, in your solution, then you should have no problem selling it to anyone who may even come close to having a problem that your product can solve. And like I said, shout out Benny Lockhart. He was the one who kind of drilled this in for me. But the second any of these things happen, you need to go belt to ass with these leads. You need to hit them from all angles. You need to give it your absolute best effort to help that lead solve the problem that they have let you know, that they have told you that they have. And this is only if you believe in your product. If you don't believe in your product and you feel bad selling it to people, then one, you shouldn't be selling that product. And yeah, you shouldn't be selling your product. If you don't believe deep in your heart that your product, your solution is the best thing for someone with a specific problem, obviously they have to have the problem that your product solves. But if you don't believe, if you're not convicted that your product is the best solution, then you shouldn't be selling it. And if you do believe that deep in your heart, then you should have no problem belt to ass with any lead that gives you some sort of inclination that they have the problem you solve. Sorry if that was a mouthful, but if they opt into your lead magnet, if they give you your phone number or email in exchange for something, if they vote on a story, if they respond to a CTA, and obviously if they book a call or fill out an application, that is the lead saying, I have this problem. I need help solving it. I don't know how. That's when you should go belt to ass and have no problem harassing the leads until they either tell you to stop contacting them or they opt in to book a call or do whatever they need to move along in the sales process. And so most people who are stuck below 20K, most coaches or consultants, they feel the need to control everything themselves. So they're doing all the appointment setting, they're doing all of the triaging, they're doing all of the closing. And most of the time, you're an expert in your field. Whatever you're really good at is the thing that you're teaching, obviously, but you have no clue how to, set effectively. You have no clue how to close. The biggest lever that you can pull is one, get a lot of time back, and two, close more people, help more people, bring them into your offer. And that's by bringing on a setter or a closer. If you are stuck below 20K and you're setting yourself, you're closing yourself, one, that should be the first change that you make, outsourcing that to someone who's better at that than you. Two, you're able to get a ton of time back that you can put back into content. You can put back into student results. But with the setting process, you are trying to see if one, that lead has a specific problem that you can help solve. And two, do they even want to solve that problem? And then, of course, are they qualified, whether that's financially, whether that's, certain age, whatever it needs to be. But with your setting conversations, you should be finding out their current state, their desired future state, financially qualifying them. Obviously, since it's a high ticket offer, you should be selling the appointment, setting the appointment, and then solidifying the appointment, all bringing them towards a sales call. And once the sales call is booked, you should be hitting them up from all fronts. I don't want to say spamming. I just thought this picture was funny. You shouldn't be spamming them, but you should be sending them a bunch of things so that they come to that call and they're ready to give you their card. They are pre-sold. People will be very, very, very likely to give you money if you do these 5 things before the call. Justify their failures, encourage their dreams, confirm their suspicions, throw rocks at their enemies, and allay their fears. So all of this is warming people up to you and positioning your product as the thing that they know that they should buy. So justifying their failures, tell them it's not their fault. They just don't have the right thing. Obviously, positioning your offer as the right thing. Encouraging their dreams with your offer. They are going to live out whatever dreams that they have, the reason that they want to get into a specific, area or business in the first place. Confirm their suspicions and throw rocks at the enemies. You can literally just objection handle and throw rocks at competitors, position your thing as the right thing, everything else as wrong, and allay their fears, with your product, everything that they're scared of happening or, potential case scenarios, your product is going to ensure that none of that happens. So once you do these 5 things, those people are going to be much warmer and much more ready to give you money, but they also need testimonials. They also need social proof in order to be, fully ready to pay you a high ticket price. So prior to the call, you want to have systems in place where you can show that people that are known and liked, are backing your offer. You're going to want people to be getting results so that they recommend your offer to other people. And then you're going to want to have case studies and testimonials that you're sending to them pre-call. If you don't have any systems where you are making sure that a lead sees testimonials, results, case studies before a sales call, then you're missing out on trust that needs to be built. And so you need to get those in place if you want to grow. One of the biggest levers that I've seen work for offers below 100K a month, when you don't have a bunch of calls, you don't have an insane amount of calls coming in like you do when you're running a $1 million a month offer. You need a way to establish an insane amount of trust when you have a closer and your offer is not that big yet. And so one method that I've seen work very well for people who are under 6 figures a month is the group chat method. And what you're going to do once you bring on a closer if you're below 20K and you're still taking sales calls, bring on a closer. They know how to close better than you. They know how to pre-handle objections. They know how to objection handle at the end of the call. They know how to get it done. Oh my God, it's getting dark. We'll speed this up. Bring on a closer. And what you're going to do is the group chat method. Make a group chat with the closer, the lead, and the creator. Whether you're an operator, whether you're a creator, you're going to make a group chat with those 3 people, and that's going to build an insane amount of trust for the closer. Because if you're a little bit smaller, people don't really know how a sales process or the info space works. They're going to be like, who am I talking to? Some random guy. This isn't the creator. I want to talk to the creator. The group chat method is going to build an insane amount of trust. The first message is going to come from you, the creator, and the second message is obviously going to be the closer, giving them the details they need about the call. So once they're actually on the call and they've went through that whole pre-call process, if you don't have a pre-call process, you're cooked. Then they're either going to be cold, they're going to take a long time, and they'll need a lot of convincing in order to pay you money, or they're going to be a lay-down barbecue chicken. They don't need any convincing. They're just ready to pay you. Shout out Jason Malucci. He put me onto this. But if your pre-call process is dialed, if you've taken them through the levels of awareness, if you've handled objections before the call, if you've built an insane amount of trust, and if you've positioned your offer as the perfect way to take advantage of a specific solution to solve a specific problem, then people are going to be ready to pay you. If you don't have a pre-call process, a lot of people are going to be here when they get onto calls. And if you're the one taking the sales calls, if you're the creator and you're taking sales calls and you have a bunch of leads who are here, then it's going to be very hard to close 60, 70, 80% of people. You're probably closing like 20% of people. And so once you get it dialed in process, once you get a closer, you're going to get more people here. The closer are going to close more of the people in this middle area who need a little bit of convincing. They need a little bit of a push to join, to pay, to convert, whatever. Closer is going to do their job there, but the process is going to bring in more people that are simply laydowns. The closer will bring them through discovery to problem awareness, solution awareness, pre-handling, walking through the offer and the deliverables, and then, pitch, objection handling. That's the typical closing process for, an info offer, but they're going to go through the offer deliverables in the pitch. And as you're the creator, you're the one who's going to be helping the clients that the closer is bringing into your offer. So you're the one responsible for building out that offer and the core aspects of that offer and the bonus aspects of that offer. The core aspects and the bonus aspects are going to be the main parts of your offer and how your offer is broken up. Core is going to be, the information that you're giving them about your specific system or solution. It's going to be the community, and it's going to be how you're helping them implement, whether that's through one-on-one coaching, whether that's through group coaching. That's going to be the core, those 3 things. Then the bonuses are going to be special systems, bonus training, specialized team members, maybe people that help with content, or, VAs or editors. Additional add-ins that increase the perceived value, Because remember, as we said, people perceive the value. How much more value is your offer bringing to them than the price that they're paying for it? And at the same time, how much money, how much time, how much energy are they going to have to put in to achieve the outcome that they want with your help? Let's go through a quick exercise. You decide what's better. Option one is this is going to be the offer. Hey, Johnny, with this offer, you're going to get the paid ads course. You're going to get the paid ads community with like-minded individuals who are also learning and growing their paid ads agency. You're going to have 5 coaching calls a week with the creator who you know and love. You're going to get direct access to him every single week. You're going to have a full mindset course that is going to switch your way of thinking so that you can become a 6-figure a month business owner. And then you're going to get a paid ad specialist where you're going to have 1 session a month with them for the next 3 months so they can work one-on-one with you on the ads that you're running for your clients. All of that is going to come out to $3K once. How do you want to proceed? They're going to be like, whatever, it's cool. Seems like it'll help, maybe. Or option 2. All right, Johnny, so seems like you know your problem, and it seems like this is, the solution, the step you want to take to solve that problem. So working with X Creator, you're going to get a full paid ads course that's going to show you every single thing that you need in order to grow your paid ads agency. You're going to get the full access to your paid ads community. This is going to surround you with people that are like-minded, people who are doing the same thing, the same spot and ahead of you. And you're going to get 5 coaching calls a week with Creator so that you can work with him directly for any problems or issues that you're facing in your day-to-day with your business. And so really all of that is going to be just a one-time price of $3,000. But today only, we're throwing in an additional mindset course that shows you how to think like a 6-figure a month entrepreneur. And we're throwing in a paid ad specialist session 3 different times, once a month for the next 3 months. And, that mindset course is valued at $1K. That paid ad specialist session is valued at $1,500. And we're throwing that all in for free today for the $3K price point that I mentioned. It's the same offer. But they're getting way more value than the price that they're paying you, all from just simple bonus, including some bonuses. So if you're not doing bonuses, do bonuses. There's a lot more that I want to talk about in the sales process, but this video is already getting a little long. So let's move to service delivery. This is not my bread and butter. This is, your job as a creator, as an offer owner, as a coach. But it amazes me how many coaches and consultants have an offer that, pretty much a B2C offer, and they don't do a few simple things that will help them improve their offer so much. And so obviously it's your job to deliver results to help people, change their lives when they're paying you thousands of bucks. But if you're not doing these things, you are missing out a lot. So gem number 1, I shouldn't even be leaking these things. It's not leaking. Obviously it's public information, but people charge a lot of money for these 3 points. So first gem. If you don't have an onboarding form, I have no clue what you're doing. With an onboarding form, you get to learn why you should, first of all, you should be asking 1, why'd you join? 2, what specific piece of content made you interested in me, made you, want to join my offer, pay me money? What specific piece of content pushed you over the edge to book a call? And then what specific piece of content brought you to me, made you aware of me? Those 2 things, having access to that information for every person that comes into your offer, is a cheat code. You know exactly which piece of content made this person say, okay, I want to pay him money. So you go and duplicate that and push that out a lot more if you're seeing, commonalities between all of the people converting. You're going to learn what these people want to learn, their pains, and there's a bunch more that should be included on your onboarding form. But the main thing should be learning why these people chose to pay you money so that then that can be, reflected in your marketing. If you're not doing that, you're missing out on free information. These people are going to help you make more money after they have already paid you money. The second gem. This is very, very simple, but encourage people to be active in your community. If people pay you thousands of dollars and they come into a community that's completely dead, that is a recipe for refund requests and drawbacks and a bunch of people just wanting their money back and it being a not good situation. The ways you can do this are prizes. Let's say you have a high ticket sales mentorship. Keeping people engaged, you can give small prizes, a couple $100 every month to the top people who are collecting the most cash or getting the most results from the program. This encourages everyone to compete because there's a financial return, and it encourages everyone to share their actual results. This gets the community rolling a lot more. And then the people who aren't seeing results off the bat, people who aren't, as far along with the process or are thinking of giving up, they see everyone else getting results and they're like, okay, if they can all do it, I can do it. Gamify it, pretty much the same thing. Like, I was in a Discord, one of the very first mentors I invested in. It showed the people who were making 10K a month, 5K a month, 3K a month, 1K a month, and 0K a month. And when I joined, obviously, I was at 0K a month. And every time I logged into the Discord, I saw the people who are online that had the 10K a month banner. And it made me feel like shit. It made me want to make more money. It made me want to get better. It made me want to catch up to them because they gamified the community a bit. Just that internal drive. Every time I go into the community, I see that. Small things like that are going to help an offer a lot. And then obviously social proof. That's just encouraging people to show their wins, continuing to encourage people to show what is possible from your product. Every single result that people get from your product, you should be leveraging in your community and in your marketing systems. Then finally, check-ins. If you have a high ticket program and you're not doing check-ins, you are missing out on a lot of feedback to improve your offer, and you're missing out on a lot of chances to upsell your audience. You're going to frame it as a progress check, but in the call, you're going to get as much feedback as you can from the lead, from the client, from the student, whatever it is. Everything that they think should be improved, everything that they've found, not as high quality as they would have liked, anywhere that they feel you could be better, you need to learn from them and implement it if there's commonalities across your different clients when you have these different check-ins. And then if someone is not seeing as much results as they would have liked, but a lot of other people are, then you can say, well, maybe it's just that you need more one-to-one help. And then you can upsell them for more one-to-one access with you. So onboarding form, encouraging activity, and a lively community, and client check-ins are three simple ways that you can help your offer in the long run so much, so that you can learn from your customers why they came to you, learn how you can improve your product continuously, and 3, you can upsell and increase your lifetime value per client a lot each month. I'm going to finish it up here because this video is getting very long. If you are below 20K a month as an online coach, then there's likely something going wrong in these areas. The first thing is you don't have enough leads. This is either because your organic content isn't bringing in any leads, or your paid content isn't bringing in enough leads. In order to grow your offer, you need to grow the number of people coming into your offer, the number of people viewing your content. And so that's literally the first thing. If you take a brand new person who just found you and you take a customer that just paid you, this is the first thing that happens. If you don't have people coming in and seeing you, you're not going to have enough leads. You're not going to be able to grow your offer. No sales process for those leads. Like I said, if you're just randomly slinging people your offer in the DMs, if you don't have some way of contacting them, if you don't have the right systems in place to take a lead who's just opted in all the way to paying you $3,000+, then you're losing cash collected easily each month. You need a sales process that you follow for every single lead. You don't have nurturing systems in place. That means you don't have long form. That means you don't have email. That means you don't have different, freebies that you're giving out. Adding all of these things will no doubt increase your cash collected. Short form is very saturated now, so people are going to need at least 7 hours in order to pay you 7 hours of seeing you in order to pay you several $1,000s. If you don't have a way for people to get up to 7 hours of time with you on the screen, then it's going to be very hard for them to convert. Easy as that. No sales reps. This means you don't have a setter or you don't have a closer. You are spending your precious time appointment setting in your DMs or calling people who opt in or whatever it is. And you're spending your time on sales calls with your clients, a lot of which who may not even be qualified. If you outsource these things to a setter and a closer, you are going to give the setter 5% or so, closer 10% or so. So that's minus 15% off of your top line. Let's think about this. If you're too stubborn to outsource setting and closing, this will bring you, if you're 3 calls a day plus setting, that's probably 5 hours a day. How much more content can you make in 5 hours a day? How much more results can you get your students with 5 hours a day? 100% of 10, 15, 20K is always going to be less than 85% of 30K, 40K, 50K. And it's going to be very hard to get to 30, 40, 50 plus a month without any sales reps in place. If you don't have any setters, if you don't have any closers, and you have at least, a couple calls each day, even one, then you should outsource that and stop being stubborn. Finally, we have 2 more. If you don't have a way to upsell your leads, if you don't have a way for them to give you more money, then you're missing out on cash collected. If you're not providing a good service to the point where people are referring your offer to people they know, then you're missing out on cash collected. Finally, if you are not built to ask, if you are not harassing every lead because you are so convicted, if you don't believe your solution is the number one thing that anyone with the problem you solve needs, then you're doing your offer wrong. You should be harassing anyone that gives you an inclination, as I talked about earlier, that they have the problem that you can solve, because you should be so convicted in your product to help that person with their problem that you do whatever it takes to get them onto a call and to sell them your offer. If you feel like that's too much, then your offer is not good enough and you don't believe in it enough. That was a lot. I could go a lot more in depth into all 3 of these areas, but the sun has now set and I am hungry. If you are a coach, a creator, a consultant with a following on social media, and you have no clue how to get past that 20K a month mark, and you know that you struggle with some of these things that we went over today, shoot me a DM on Instagram. We do free audit calls to look at your offer, see if there's anything that you off the bat you need to improve, see if there's anything that we know we can help you improve. But I hope this was valuable. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, leave a comment or DM me on Instagram at fpm.stefan. And I will see you in the next one. That was a long one. Appreciate you sticking through if you're still here. Peace.